Galarianrapidash is speedily on its way to Unite. And if you are interested in learning this Pokemon, or covering your butt, you're in the right place. Let's get in. Its unusual speed, mobility, and high burst damage potential makes this Pokemon a threat. Because of its role as an all-rounder, it will also be a bit harder to take down rather than a squishy attacker or speedster. Rapidash's passive is called Pastel Veil. This is a highly useful two-part passive that grants the user a shield when its gauge is full. This shield grants protection and hindrance resistance while it is active. The second part of the ability involves your movement speed. The faster you move, the more your moves hurt. So a Floatstone or Charging Charm may be worth wearing even though this is a special attack-based Pokemon. Speaking of build, for this experimental video, I am testing out 3 builds. One for high burst damage, one for brawling and health regeneration, and one with a Charging Charm to see if it's worth anything. I also picked a tanky Ho-Oh to spar against to really test Rapidash's abilities. However, any special attack items would be a step in the right direction. As for your moves, your first move set is Tackle and Confusion. Tackle is a forward dash that does decent damage. The aiming mechanic is similar to Zeraora's Scratch or Sylveon's Baby Doll Eyes, and will hit as long as the enemy is locked on in the circle. Confusion is an AoE, area of effect, burst damage that fills a bit of your psychic gauge upon use. It also increases your movement speed for a short time after you hit an enemy Pokemon. Both are decent secures for stacking in the early game. Once you hit level 5, you evolve, and you get to choose between Dazzling Gleam and Fairy Wind. Dazzling Gleam is an upgrade to Confusion. It dishes out about over 1,000 damage in one go, so it is very good for securing and bursting down enemies. If enemies are hit by the outer ring of the flash, Rapidash's movement speed is increased and the cooldown for Agility or Smart Strike are reduced. The more people you hit with this outer ring, the faster you move, and the faster you move, the more damage you do. The Plus version reduces the move's cooldown. Smart Strike is an upgrade to Tackle. Rapidash dashes forward and shoves the opponent, dealing damage and stunning them for a second. The Plus version will charge your psychic gauge, which causes you to regenerate your shield more. Fairy Wind allows you to jump as you control Rapidash, while the colorful Fairy Wind damages your enemies. You can bounce around up to 3 times. Now the third time, you throw your enemies, leaving them unable to act for a second or two. You can do increased damage with increased movement speed. Basically, the faster you're moving, the more damage you do. Agility doesn't deal damage directly, but it works with your passive, increasing your potential damage. Your movement speed gradually increases, which increases your chance of doing more damage to your enemies.
Damage!
You can even increase the duration of agility by hitting opposing Pokemon with moves. The Plus version restores your HP while your movement speed is increased. The Unite move is called Triad Blitz, a 2-part high damage Unite. The first part involves Rapidash zooming toward your target and charging at them. This creates a triangular space that your enemy cannot escape. It's like Mimic on steroids. Now, the second part, you get 3 dashes, lunging at your enemy until your Unite move begins its lengthy cooldown. Yes, you can also use this Unite move on objectives and farm. However, if you miss, your Unite will not reset, and you will have to wait again until it comes back. If there was a split roll, I believe this Pokemon would fill it perfectly. It reminds me of a cross between an all-rounder and a speedster, with its high mobility and high burst damage potential. If I were to put it on a tier list in the current meta, I would give it a cool A. Maybe an S, I'll have to see when it releases to give my final say. It has great move synergy and it seems like a very fun Pokemon in this meta to play. But until January the 23rd, when Rapidash comes out, all I gotta say is, guys, stay safe, stay cool. I'll see you in the next one. Shinx out.